Welcome to ACC Softball, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. From Joanne Graff Field on this Saturday afternoon, good crowd as usual filing in here in Tallahassee. And they're going to see the hottest team in the nation. Longest active winning streak. Noles have won 23 in a row coming into today. They've got the hottest player in the nation. Isa Torres hitting an absolutely absurd .621 to lead the nation. And Lonnie Alameda 6 days ago got career win number 1,000. She's added 2 more in this series, with the Noles taking the first 2 games in this set against Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish will try to salvage game 3 against the 10th ranked Florida State Seminoles. Great to have you with us on this Saturday, along with former Noles first baseman Alex Powers. I'm Mark Neely. The entire nation is talking about Isa Torres. Have you ever seen anybody as locked in as Isa Torres is right now?
Absolutely not. Not ever in my life have I seen anybody swinging it as well as she is. Defensively, just elite in the plays that she's making. She's been so much fun to watch. And really, it's the joy of the journey for Isa Torres, too. You see some of the numbers there. She set the Division I record for consecutive hits, 16 in a row, reached base in 23 consecutive plate appearances. And then not only that, she's been playing errorless softball as well at short.
Yeah, it's just so fun to watch her take the field, because you can tell she's having a lot of fun.
It's the power game, it's the consistency, it's the solid defense up the middle. Isa Torres, in my opinion, is right now the best player in college softball.
Just doing it, as you said, not only with the bat, but also the glove. So Notre Dame comes in. Quite frankly, I thought they were playing some of their best softball of the season coming into this series. They've dropped the first 2. They seem to have a really good young core, some freshmen and sophomore, including freshman Ava Zachary, who's off to a great start in her collegiate career.
Well, and that's been the name of the game for Coach Gannett and company, is the youth for this Notre Dame team. Just kind of trying to figure out, how do we ride the waves, knowing that there's going to be peaks, there's going to be valleys, but we're just looking for the consistency and the good information game by game.
Yeah, Zachary, the numbers have been really good. You take a look at the lineup for Coach Gannett today, and you got Zachary hitting in the 3-hole. Look at the numbers she's put up in conference play, .450.
Has been really good in conference play, just swinging a good hot bat, trying to set the tone here for the Fighting Irish and trying to collect some good ribbies whenever possible.
Bella Dimitrievich in the circle for Florida State. First pitch, ball 1. We are underway from Tallahassee. And Florida State took the first 2 games. They won here Thursday night 7-2. And a run rule 5-inning 10-0 win yesterday. What can we expect from Dimitrievich in the circle?
Well, one of the things that she brings is kind of just the youth, the fun, the newness, and she spins the ball well. She's got 3 speeds. She spins it vertically really effectively, able to mix in an off speed too, trying to keep the hitters off balance. But really the key right now for Florida State and the pitchers as a whole is they're pitching by committee, but they're also always trying to get ahead, always trying to work from ahead in the count and get hitters just trying to battle.
See, she's got Bubba on the back of her jersey. It is a players weekend, so the game in game 1, they were allowed to wear the players jersey, and now here in game 3 as well. Bella Dimitrievich is elected to put Bubba on the back of hers. Now, there's obviously a story for each one of those. And for Dimitrievich, Bubba is honoring her childhood dog, whose name was Bubba. That is going to just get out of play. Good effort there by Beecham. Nikki Winchell hitting at the top of the order. California native now in her senior season. She's definitely the veteran player on this team. As we mentioned right at the top, some really good young players, but they've got the senior leadership as well.
Well, Nikki Winchell has been a staple in the top of this order. She battled back from injury last season too, so really just trying to have a good run here, trying to stay healthy. That's sometimes the hardest part for a lot of these players. Just dealing with adversity, I think, makes you so much more appreciative on the field when you get the opportunities.
Winchell had a wrist injury that ended last season early on March 8th, so she missed a pretty good chunk of the season. Chop set towards the middle. Torres cuts it off, flips, close, safe. Bang, bang play right to start the game. Let's take another look at this.
Good speed here for Mickey Winchell. Just going to get a couple of bounces. Isa Torres does what she can with the throw on the run attempt there, but Winchell just too fast down the line. Good job. And right now, Notre Dame's looking for base runners, not something that came very frequently yesterday. In game 2, struggled a bit offensively.
Caitlin Early jumps on the first pitch. It's a high pop up into shallow center. You see Kennedy Hart call off Torres. Early jumping on the first pitch. And there's the first out of the game. Kennedy Hart out in center field. You saw Vivian on the back of her jersey. That honors her grandmother, Vivian. Bunted in the air. It's caught, throw to first. Beecham tried to surprise Winchell, who was on the base, and then Griggs had to coast right to the foul line to keep that from getting away, but the party of 4 over at third base is going to try to double up a runner to end the inning.
Good defense here. Jason E. Beecham crashing in on the sacrifice attempt, but one thing Florida State is not scared of doing is throwing the ball around a little bit.
And a steal attempt gunned down by Anna Hine. Just the second time Winchell's been caught in 14 tries this year.
Anna Hine behind the dish. Gets Winchell trying to get to second base. Bang, bang play. Gotta love it. Florida State defense. They're rolling early.
Are presented by Garnet.
Beautiful day here in Tallahassee. Take a look at the lineup for the Seminoles. You know what Issa's been doing at the top of the order, but Beecham, 45 runs batted in to lead the team batting in the 2-hole.
And such a good sign when you're a Florida State fan, when you've got somebody like Jason E. Beecham. She was the freshman of the year 2 seasons ago for the NCAA, and then she's getting overshadowed because of Isa Torres right now and the numbers that she's putting up. But Beecham just shy of 400, having a fantastic junior campaign, and everything that she's able to do offensively has really helped pave the way for the Noles.
Kayla Castor started game 1 here on Thursday and starts game 3.
The senior, no surprise she's getting the ball here, has eaten up a lot of the innings for the Fighting Irish, has had some ups, had some downs, just trying to figure it out, but using that senior leadership, she's so fiery in the circle, and that's one of the reasons she's going to consistently get the ball, just the soul of this defense.
Starts Torres off speed. What else can we expect from Castor today?
You look at what has made Castor so good so far this year. She's got 3 legit speeds, a rise ball, curve ball, change up too. You saw the first pitch change up there, pretty nasty. Just tells me that if she'll throw it the very first pitch, she'll throw it in any count.
Well, 2 pitches, we've seen 2 of the 3 speeds.
No surprise here, Florida State does a lot offensively, further scouting, just trying to prepare the hitters for anybody that they might see in the circle.
Torres, bouncing ball to her right, gobbled up at second base by Zachary. And they get Issa Torres to begin the game. And if it sounded like I had amazement in my voice,
Number 42.
you're very observant. She hasn't made many outs recently.
Well, she's one of the hardest outs in the country. You just talked about somebody that was such good hand-eye coordination, always putting the pressure on the defense, doesn't swing and miss very often. But yeah, she's a tough one.
Jasony, only one official at bat in the run rule win yesterday, but was 1 for 1 with an RBI on a sac fly and a walk. You mentioned 2 years ago, National Freshman of the Year, All ACC first team in 2024. Put up numbers a year ago that most hitters would be very happy to post. But when you compared it to her freshman year, it was not the same type of season, but that's not all that unusual freshman to sophomore year.
Absolutely, and that's when the scouting reports, everybody knows who you are, how to attack you. You are the person that's circled in the scouting reports when you're facing opponents.
Big high chop, nice play, snagged by Caroline at third base. Really good play by Caroline O'Brien. That got on her in a hurry.
I think Notre Dame went back and watched the game yesterday with some of the Florida State defense and said they wanted some of their own. Caroline O'Brien at the hot corner makes the jump, the grab, fires over to first. Good defense here is going to be the key for Notre Dame, trying to help Castor in the circle.
Aaron Heller playing second base for the Noles. Takes ball one from Castor. Aaron had a double in yesterday's win for the Noles. In the first game, she was officially 0 for 0. Didn't have an official at bat, but she walked 4 times. Scored a couple of times at a stolen base. 4 walk games are probably about as rare as 4 hit games.
Yeah, that's pretty tough to do. Good discipline.
Shows more discipline there, takes low.
When you talk about the youth for Notre Dame, how about the youth for Florida State? Heller, one of the many freshmen in the starting lineup here, has been doing a good job just finding her way in the starting 9.
Yeah, these two teams are kind of anomalies, Alex, in the fact that in the offseason, they don't go out and get a bunch of transfers and hit the portal. You know, there's a few sprinkled in here and there, but compared to other teams, not many at all.
I like to see that.
Yes.
I'm cool with the transfer portal, but, you know, I love just being tough and trying to just earn your way into opportunities. You look at Florida State has had a pretty good record of transfers in, transfers out. Notre Dame, the education alone is really hard to get into, so probably another reason for that.
Heller, right back up the middle, and that's going to dribble through. Castor took a reach for that, couldn't quite get the glove down fast enough, and a base hit with 2 outs from Aaron Heller.
And good teams find ways to get base runners with 2 outs. And sometimes that's when we see most of our action here. Somebody's just trying to get it started. This is a team that hasn't had to rely on any one part of the order. Of course, Issa Torres, Jasony Beecham in the 1-2 hole are probably some of the best in the country between the 2 of them, but the bottom half of this order for Florida State's been good.
Danley, first pitch swing and slow roller to Zachary at second base, and the side retired. So neither team able to score in the first. Jay, thanks. We welcome you to ACC Softball, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. For those of you on the main network, ACC Network, you've just missed the first inning. No scoring. We go to the top of the second. It's game 3 of this 3-game series. Florida State, the hottest team in the nation. They've won 23 straight games. They won the first 2 games of this series. And Notre Dame comes up here in the top of the second. Glad you could join us, along with former Florida State first baseman Alex Powers. I'm Mark Neely. Leading off for Notre Dame, Hayden Kine, the DP, and she punches it into right field. And for the second consecutive inning to start the game, Notre Dame has a leadoff base hit. Kine, a true freshman, one of the young players of this very good young core for Notre Dame in 2026. Good look at Joanne Graff Field on this Saturday afternoon in Tallahassee. Great crowd as usual. Bunt attempt laid down. Beecham Fields throws to Heller covering, and a little tumble down at second base for Hayden Kine. She's got a little smile, shares a laugh with Issa Torres.
And good sacrifice bunt here by O'Brien, just going to lay it down, but Hayden Kine over at second base, a little bit of a stumble, ain't no thing. You see the reaction there from Heller as well. Just, hey, I mean, it happens to the best of us. I've been there. I don't know about you, but been there, done that.
She did get to the base, not exactly in the fashion she probably was attempting, but she's a good sport about it, had a smile on her face.
Let's take one more look, just for full effect here. Oh, man.
It's a good thing she basically had a football helmet on.
Yeah, she was ready. I'm just glad she was smiling and laughing. If you can't laugh at yourself, it's going to be a long life. We call that the starfish.
Oh, it has an actual name.
Yeah, it does happen
A
kind of a
starfish.
lot, yeah.
I just learned something. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
Well, that's what I'm going to call it. I mean, I don't know if other people would agree, but
all right. Well, maybe you started something here. When Kine retells this story, she can use the term starfish. I pulled a starfish.
It was funny, too, just before the game, listening to some of the players talk. Florida State does a sniper award each year. And if Notre Dame has that as well, I think that one would definitely be a top contender.
Oh, that's all the way to the backstop. That came up right above the bill of the cap of Sydney Peck into the backstop. So wild pitch from Bella Dimitrievich. With advanced Kine, who was able to go in standing up to third base.
When you look at Bella's production in the first inning, she threw only 9 pitches to get the 3 outs. The defense definitely helped, but 7 of those pitches had come to Winchell. So definitely a little deeper so far.
Foul tip. Kine couldn't quite hang on to it. It is a players' weekend here at Florida State. They were allowed to wear their players' jersey with the personalization on the back in game 1 on Thursday, and now here in game 3. You see a fly ball to left. Let's see if this is going to be deep enough. She's going to test the arm of Harp. No, she will not. A couple of steps. Go a little up the line, but Kine's like, don't think so. She stays at third, 2 outs.
Dimitrievich does a good job elevating this pitch up in the zone. The pop fly by Sydney Peck. Kennedy Harp covers good ground, but she's also got a cannon too. So just knowing too, she was kind of crashing in, the momentum working in her favor. Hayden Kine not going to challenge it. I think that's the right call, probably the smart call too. This is a Notre Dame offense that didn't have a base runner past second base in game 2 yesterday.
Alex Houlihan takes ball 1 inside, which ends a little bit of a trend here. The last 5 Notre Dame hitters had all offered it the first pitch from Dimitrievich. The game's leadoff hitter, Winchell, did not, and now Houlihan laid off the first and now the second. Well, if the Notre Dame head coach Chris Ganeff was kind of guessing along like we were, we probably thought we would have seen Jazzy Francic start. She started game 1 for Florida State, but if you know Lonnie Alameda, there is a method to the Hall of Fame coach. She elected for Dimitrievich and pulled us off.
I would love to say that I'm surprised, but I'm not. The one thing I've learned about Coach as a player, as somebody watching the game, calling the games, I would love to just be in her brain on occasion. But hey, she's got the confidence of the freshman. And I think for her, it's about opportunity too. It's a big setup. What you do right now is gonna put you in a position to be confident throughout postseason and hopefully a lengthy run.
Yeah, we can't read her mind, but what our conversations, she allows us to kind of take a peek in there every once in a while. And it's always fascinating because there's ball 4. That ball did get away from Hind, but she was able to quickly get to it. Dmitrievich issues her first walk. So a chance here in the second for Notre Dame. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. The 8th spot in the order up, and it's sophomore catcher Rebecca Eckert. Did she go? They asked for the appeal. It had to go down to the third base umpire, as the first base umpire is between first and second, and it was Russell McLaughlin said she did not offer at it.
I know we're new and working together, Mark, but that is one of my most disliked rules of the game, with kind of the umpire in the check swing having to appeal to the umpire who's got the back of the hitter. That's a tough one for me to swallow.
Yeah, not ideal. Obviously, there are different stages of the season where you'll get the 4 umpires technically.
Right. I'm not super passionate about a whole lot of things other than loving the game of softball, but that one really gets me going.
1-2 pitch to Becca Eckert. Dmitrievich, 26 pitches so far. She did work in relief yesterday, 1 inning, a walk and a couple of strikeouts. And that's fair, down the line into the left field corner. It brings in Kine with the game's first run. It's a double for Eckert, Houlihan to third, and it's the Fighting Irish that score first today in Tallahassee. 16th RBI for sophomore Rebecca Eckert.
Coach Ganiff talks about her team making adjustments, and Becca Eckert at the bottom of the order here gets something going. A nice little double down the line with runners on definitely helps Notre Dame looking to get the momentum on their side, and talk about attacking first. That's a big one.
I think attacking is the word here, as the Notre Dame hitters have, for the most part, been aggressive at the plate to start this game.
It's like a whole new team than what you've seen the last couple of games, but I think that's the frustration sometimes for coaches about the youth.
Out to center, hit well. Harp goes back at the fence, and it goes out. Tinley Sweet, her first career home run. Out to dead center field, and Notre Dame has put a 4 spot up here in the second inning.
How about this bottom of the order? The 8 and 9 hitters getting it done. Lots of ribbies here. Tinley Sweet. That was a sweet swing. Well, Notre Dame feeling good.
Now, Tinley Sweet, obviously she's the younger sister of Abby Sweet, who was an All-American center fielder for Notre Dame. Tinley was with the Irish in 2024, only had 5 at-bats, went 0 for 5. In 2025, did not play due to injury, and this year didn't even get her first career hit until the season opener against Auburn, and now has her first home run. And what a blast it was to straightaway center. A 4-run inning for Notre Dame.
Notre Dame was up 1, but Tinley Sweet with runners on gets the big swing, a couple more in favor of the Irish. They're up 4.
ACC Softball is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
A 4-0 lead for Notre Dame early in this game against Florida State. This is only the second time in ACC play that Florida State has even trailed in a game. The other was last week in the Clemson series when they fell down 1-0 in a game. And here they are down 4-0, but a lot of softball still to play. This is a team right now on a 23-game winning streak, which, as you see, there have only been 5 more longer in school history, but this is the longest active streak in the nation after Texas recently lost their 29-game winning streak to Texas A&M last week. So we'll see how it plays out here on this Saturday in the final game of this 3-game series. Quite a start for the Irish. Second time up for the Noles offense. And a high in the catcher for the Noles, taking a first pitch strike from Castor.
So what you're saying is they just saved the fun for us, Mark.
I'm saying there's a lot of softball to play with an offense that quickly puts up numbers, and that's driven to center, but Mickey Winchell was playing deep. Caught that one a little shy of the warning track off the bat of the freshman Anna Hind.
Coach Gannon should be really proud of how the team is coming out after the first 2 games, but I will say one of the things that Coach Alameda, focuses on most is really just not really paying attention to the noise around us, and she talked about that amidst their success, amidst her about to be 1,000th win a week ago, and Isa Torres and the run she was on. She's like, we just try to focus on ourselves, who we are, staying true to that. And you know, you look at the score in a situation like this, I think that's a big opportunity to really kind of rein it in and just pass the bat, keep it simple, focus on pitch to pitch. Can't look too far ahead.
Little off the outside corner to Shelby McKenzie. She's the DP today for FSU. Coach Alameda. What she has on the back of her jersey, by the way, is you see Coach Ganoff on the other side. Lonnie is wearing the name of her hometown from the Sacramento area in California.
If you know Coach, you know how much her family and where she comes from means to her. And in a world and a life now that feels so busy, she always talks about taking it back to her roots, and she's just a country girl at heart. I know I couldn't bring you fresh eggs today, Mark, because you do have to catch a flight, but I did bring Coach some because I feel like they're just a little bit healthier.
For those of you who don't know, Alex Powers has hens that lay eggs, so you can get farm fresh eggs.
I'm your girl.
And if I wasn't getting on a flight, I would have taken them home with me. Rancho de Rocas, I believe is how it's pronounced. And when you say somebody's a California native, immediately a lot of times I think either the Bay Area or Southern California. But you're right, Lonnie's really as country as California can get outside of Sacramento.
Fair. It's all about just keeping it true to who you are and identity, culture. It's big for both of these programs, and Coach Ganoff only in her 2nd year trying to build her own legacy at the helm of the Fighting Irish.
Season 2 for Coach Ganoff. I asked her, is it any different in season 2? Because you've really been at Notre Dame forever anyway. And she said, you know what, though? It is different. I feel more relaxed, a little more in sync in year 2 as the head coach after Deanna Gump's retirement.
We like to hear that, too. Just settling in, the comfortability leads to confidence, too, in yourself and your players.
Coach Ganoff had spent 23 seasons on the staff as an assistant associate head coach. Ooh, nicely snagged by Eckert. Keep that from getting away. And before that, I mean, she played catcher. Ganoff did. Played that very position right there for Notre Dame.
It's good stuff. I love when the coaches come back to lead the programs that they come from. I feel like there's just a whole different level and depth to it.
Full count now. Kennedy Hart has Vivian on the back. That honors her grandmother. Waited on it, hits it to center. It's sinking and drops in front of Winchell. McKenzie scoots down to second. Second base hit of the game for Florida State. They have 2 on with 1 out.
Kennedy Hart finds her way on base. A little off-speed pitch here, a little off the end of the bat, but still hard enough to drive it right into center field. Good base running too by Shelby McKenzie. Kind of stays in that halfway point, trying to see if it's going to fall or if Winchell's going to make a great play. But the Noles looking to attack.
Bella Ruggiero. Played in game 1, went 0 for 4, did not play game 2 yesterday. Getting the start in right field. The name Weber on the back of her jersey honors one of her mother's late best friends.
We saw good bottom of the order production with Notre Dame in the second inning, and yesterday in game 2, the bottom of the order for Florida State was 7 for 8 with their 6th, 7th, and 8th hitters. So good bottom of the lineup production here is going to be key for teams as they progress through the next couple of weeks.
Waited to short. There's a force out at third, and good decision by Avery Houlihan to take the easier play right in front of her to O'Brien. And they force McKenzie at third base for the second out.
Good defense here. Houlihan gets it on a well-hit ball, but gonna take the easy one over to third. Leadoff runner too, that's big, just trying to keep Florida State off the board.
Briggs jumping on the first pitch. That's twisting back foul. We mentioned this is only the second time that Florida State has trailed in ACC play, and keep in mind they are unbeaten 11-0 in conference play. The last time they trailed by this amount, 4 runs, was the last time they lost, which was February 21st here against Alabama. They lost 5-1. They've won 23 straight since then. So you got a couple runners on here with 2 outs. You see he was on deck in Issa Torres. He's been on a tear and the hottest hitter in the nation over the last number of weeks. Even though she missed 8 games earlier in the season. She's put up incredible numbers.
You do the quick math on that, it's about 25 at-bats that she's shy. She's still almost leading the country.
Nothing Florida State would like better than to see Torres come up in this inning. So it would mean Briggs would reach.
All the reason why this next pitch is going to be huge from Castor.
Ooh, really good pitch. Didn't miss by much on that outside corner.
Great pitch when you're ahead of the count here for Michaela Castor. A little off the plate, down at the knees. That's a great pitcher's pitch. Would have been a tough called strike, but good discipline there from Briggs. Great spot though for Castor.
Goes back out there, elevated it a bit, and gets the strikeout to win the inning.
Michaela Castor, big opportunity here with runners on base. Florida State threatens, but Castor gets the big strikeout of Haley Griggs. She's fired up.
Softball here on ACC Network. 4-0 Notre Dame to the top of the third inning. There will be more EC softball on ACC Network later tonight. Coming up 6 Eastern, we'll take you to Tech Park in Blacksburg. 12th ranked Hokies will host Clemson again tonight, 6 Eastern, right here on ACC Network. Good looking Saturday in Tallahassee. Florida State took the first 2 games. One here on Thursday, 7-2. One in 5 innings, a run rule game yesterday, 10-0. It won 23 straight. They trail at 4-0, top of the third. Look at the order up here for the Irish, 2, 3, and 4, with Caitlin Early leading off. Fly to center, her first time up.
We talk a lot about Kocha and how she pitches by committee. I am a little surprised to see Dimitrijevic kind of going back out in the circle. Notre Dame was able to put up 4 in the second inning, but this is a good learning opportunity to see how Dimitrijevic is going to bounce back and kind of respond to the adversity and the toughness out there and the good at-bats that Notre Dame is putting together.
True freshman Bella Dimitrijevic. Let me try that again. Dimitrijevic.
That's a tongue twister.
Sometimes those Croatian syllables can trip you up. She's from Illinois. McKenna, Illinois, on the far south side of the Chicago Metro. 2-time Illinois Gatorade High School Player of the Year. Has competed for the Croatian national team at the World Softball Euro Championships last September. It's a high fly to left center field. It's like Ashton Danley wants that one. But back to Dimitrijevic. I mean, a huge recruit coming to Florida State. Another one of those young pitchers that Lonnie is able to get and bring in as a freshman.
I think one of the most interesting things, too, is you look at Bella, whether she's out in the circle, in the dugout, and she often looks so serious. And Lonnie was telling us how goofy she is, and she's just naturally really funny. Her teammates gravitate towards her. You love that because you're a competitor out there on the field, but you keep it light and fun as well.
Wave and a miss by Ava Zachary. Popped out to Beecham at third. Her first at bat. Having a great freshman season, Ava Zachary. Was ACC Freshman of the Week not long ago on March 17th. We asked Coach Gannett about her. Tell us about your freshman from Mishawaka, who's grew up really close to South Bend, obviously, just southeast campus. Said, hey, she's just a softball player, and she doesn't overthink it, which I think is a great statement for a young player, because that can easily happen a lot of times.
Absolutely. It's such a game of failure, and to kind of get in your head, put the pressure on yourself because you care so much. But Ava Zachary's having a fantastic freshman season, leading the team in a few categories, not only average, but also some of the power numbers as well with doubles, home runs. She's tied for first on that.
Just out of reach at Heller. I don't know if she saw that right off the bat. It did have some top spin to it. It's a base hit for Zachary.
Talk about the success that Ava Zachary's having in her freshman season and just keeping it alive. Takes that pitch, elevated at the letters. Good piece of hitting there. Getting her hands behind it. Pokes that one nicely to the outfield. Good base running too, just trusting the speed. And this is a quick Florida State defense relaying those kind of hits in, but good job by Zachary.
Well, there is going to be a pitching change. Jazzy Francic's going to come in for Dimitrijevic.
Stepping into the circle.
Notre Dame trying to salvage the third game of this series and end Florida State's 23-game winning streak. They put up a 4 spot in the second inning.
There's a couple of big swings here. Becca Eckert gets it going. A nice double down the line there to left field. A run coming in to score. Notre Dame on top by 1. And then this one by Tinley Sweet in the 9-hole. A couple more runs coming in. That one's a 3-run bomb right now. The difference maker for the Fighting Irish. But Michaela Castor in the circle has been fantastic. She's fired up the heart and soul of the defense, trying to keep them on top.
A 3-run home run for Tinley Sweet, her first career home run. Jazzy Francic takes over in the circle. Inherits a runner at second.
Big opportunity here for Francic coming in with base runner in scoring position.
To Beecham, looks back, dropped the ball. She took a look at the runner at second and then just lost the handle. And Florida State's been a great defensive team. That's her first error as a team in the series, just the 4th error of the year to assess to Beecham.
Tough break there, just trying to do a look back of Zachary at second base, but amidst the shuffles, kind of just loses contact with the ball. This is a really good Florida State defense, too. We talked about how well they're doing in the ACC defensively with a 986 fielding percentage, 3rd in the country as well.
Fouled off the bat of Caroline O'Brien. Sacrificed her first time up. The defense for Florida State significantly better than it was just even a year ago.
Talk about the adjustments, the transitions. As you see last season, a 963 fielding percentage, 131st in the country. This year has definitely worked really hard on that in the offseason, over 980. Again, 3rd in the country now for the Noles. Some things just take time. You talk about the youth making adjustments. This is a team that's been young, I feel like, for a long time now. Watching these, especially the left side, kind of grow up through the program.
First pitch strike to Sydney Peck. Wide to center in her first at bat. Jazzy gets ahead quickly 0-2. Jazzy pitched a couple innings in game 1 on Thursday. 43 pitches. And she strikes out Peck to end the threat. So they strand Zachary. When we come back, we'll visit with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish head coach, Chris Ganoff. Nothing Irish to the bottom of the third. Let's first visit with the head coach of the Fighting Irish, Chris Ganiff. Well, we chatted before the game. We talked a little bit about maybe what the offensive adjustments would be. It seems more aggressive coming into this game. What was the talk prior to first pitch?
Yeah, I think we just said, you guys, we've got to get up there and start swinging, right? We're not going to make anything happen with one hit in the game, so we need to get up there and try to put balls in play.
Coach, Michaela Castor looks really good in the circle. What do you like that you're seeing from her?
I like that she's able to execute the location of the pitch, and I think she's doing a really good job just being that heart and soul like we say about her all the time.
We appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Thanks, go Irish.
Head coach Chris Ganiff. We get to see Michaela Castor once again. First couple innings have been just as Coach Ganiff mentioned. She's at very good location, good command.
Great command and just the fiery spirit too. And sometimes the production and the actual success on the field is great, of course, but it's the excitement, the passion that you love to see from your players just really selling out for the big moments.
Top of the order, and that means you know who, Isa Torres. Grounded out to the right side in her first at bat. She is 5 for 8 in the series, even with the 0 for 1 today. 3 extra base hits, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored all in this series. Leading the nation in hitting at 621.
And of course, that's still missing the 8 games that she missed. Leading the country in batting average, right up there in hits. Can you imagine what it would be if maybe she was playing those games? I don't know. Maybe that was the difference maker and really catapulted her into the success that she's been having.
Well, hard to say. We'll never know. She's counted her favorite 3 balls, no strikes.
If you're into conspiracies, maybe.
Coach Ganiff, in our conversation prior to the game today, another one of the subjects I brought up was Isa Torres. And she said, look, we can't give her anything good to hit. And if that means we walk her, that means we walk her.
I think it depends on the situations too, right? And right now with the 4-run lead, maybe you go get, but maybe not.
So a 5-pitch walk to Torres. So Coach Ganiff, true to her word, pitching very carefully to Torres, leading off the inning. It's the bat in the hands of Jason E. Beecham. You know, that pitch right there,
That's a good pitch.
That's a great pitch.
It's hard to lay off of as a hitter too, especially as a righty, kind of tailing away from you. Not one necessarily as a lefty, because it kind of goes right into the swing. But we talk about Players Weekend and Jason E. Beecham with the party of 4 representing her family. I think her dog's included in that as well.
Wasn't there a TV show many years ago? Was it like Party of 6? Is that what it was called?
Maybe. I do remember Three's Company too, so I don't know, maybe.
Party of 5 was the name of the show, I'm told. All right.
Must have been before my time.
I was a little off, yes.
I like a good old show.
If you're watching Three's Company, then yes, you're going way back to the 70s.
A little I Love Lucy.
Oh, classic.
I know.
Out towards right center field. Mitchell has a beat on that. Beecham flies out for the first out of the inning.
Some well-hit balls for Florida State, just the slightest bit off balance, but that's just a nod to Michaela Castor and the pretty legit speed that she has to offer, keeping the hitters off balance, a little out in front.
Aaron Heller with the base hit up the middle her first time up. This time, Castor gets the strike call on the outside corner to start the sequence. Chop towards short, waiting on it. Houlihan, wide throw into right field. quickly gobbled up by Peck, but it will cost 60 feet. Torres advances to third. And now it's Notre Dame that has some defensive issues.
Marin Heller a little out in front of this, a rollover ground ball, but Houlihan on the throw there, trying to get the leadoff base runner Torres, but it was going to be a close play as it is because right on the contact there, Torres was breaking. They're trying to rush it right at the end. Notre Dame can't make the throw. Florida State splits the bases. This is where the Noles can get dangerous. They know how to fight and come back in the big moments when they're behind. Just got to try to take care of the softball if you're Notre Dame, knowing that, hey, we've had the momentum on our side this far. We've got to just keep it rolling. Say, so what, next pitch?
So Danley is the hitter, Ashton Danley. Swung at the first pitch, first time up, grounded out to the right side. Takes ball one. Ashton, a two-way player, wanted to get some more with bats this year. Talked to Lonnie before the season. And he says, all right, let's do it. And she's been doing both pitching and hitting at a very nice clip.
Well, how about that, too? There's a good amount of players that are two-way players in the country that say, hey, I want to try to do this. And then there are very few that are actually able to do it. Danley has worked her way up into the big cleanup spot in the lineup.
Trailing runner will go. They're trying to bait a throw there if they could, but Anchor didn't bite. Heller swipes her 13th base of the season, uncontested.
Now in scoring position here with two. Ashton Danley was 3 for 3 in yesterday's game, so swinging a good bat.
Right side, runner coming for the plate. No play anywhere. Early able to knock it down. But Torres comes in to score. And Florida State gets on the board here in the third.
Another rollover ground ball here. Michaela Castor doing a good job getting the ground balls, but the defense just unable to make the plays. I think Early goes to her knees a little prematurely there. Needs to try to have good footwork through the ball a little bit more when trying to make the play. And that's what speed does. It puts the pressure on the defense. And right now, Notre Dame has fallen victim to the chaos that Florida State can cause on the bases.
See the numbers on Castor.
Now batting number 77, Anna Hines.
They're at the corners. Tying run at the plate. Anna Hine. Freshman takes ball one. Hine fly to center first time up. They're going to throw. Boy, dangerous. Zachary had to pick it. Once again, you had Florida State trying to bait a long throw down to second base. Notre Dame didn't. They had the infield in, but almost threw it past Zachary.
That's a gutsy play there. Just kind of knowing that we've struggled a little bit with the catch and throw game.
6th steal, by the way, for Danley this year. Time requested. Left side, diving stop in and out of the middle. Houlihan, 1 run in. Here comes the second, and then safely Danley touches the plate. 2 runs come in on a ball that barely got out of the infield. And just like that, Florida State's cut it to a 1-run deficit.
Two infield singles, 3 Florida State runs. This one just in the 5-6 hole there, but the attempt on the dive from Houlihan, so tough. The ball going to get past her. 2 more runs coming in to score, and that right there is the result of Florida State putting the pressure on the Fighting Irish defense. And of course, with the help of a walk to lead off the inning to Torres, the error Now a couple of runs coming in.
Now the tying runs at first. Kinsey a walk, an inning ago for Hine, by the way. Gets a couple RBIs and then smashed up the middle. And the bat's coming alive here for Florida State here in the third. McKenzie, the first base hit of the series.
Hitting is contagious. Shelby McKenzie drives this one right down the middle, right up the middle. Good piece of hitting here, just keeping it simple, short to the ball, passing the bat. Trying to see what they can do and who's going to step up big here for Florida State. Tough break, too, if you're Michaela Castor. You look at what you've gotten production-wise and overall a good outing so far, but right now the score just kind of showing us a little bit different.
Yeah, the air in this inning is hurt.
The infield singles, too, I mean, tough because you're making the pitches. You're right there.
Number 23,
Just maybe one step, making the play and the difference.
So we're going to run at second base, Maddie Fry. She went around there. Kennedy a base hit to center last inning. Still only one out. That's to right. Peck there, tagging from second, going to third is Hind. So she advances to 60 feet. In Notre Dame, you'll take that. Just get that second out. Still with a one-run lead.
That's how you put yourself in those situations there with the pinch runner. Now just 60 feet away from tying this thing up, and a base hit will do the job.
Just off the outside corner for ball one. Bella 0. 0 fielder's choice, first time. Pitches now from Michaela Castor, who has had to deal with some traffic on the bases every inning, but navigated that through the first two. And continues to hit her spots.
Just trying to figure it out and doing a good job too, keeping the velocity up. You see still pumping the upper 60s there, but the 3 legit speeds has really worked in her favor. A couple of rollover ground balls, defense just a few miscues here.
Runner, trailing runner goes, and another dangerous throw. Gets away for a moment, but the throw home, and a leaping attempt. And fortunately, it looks like Fry's all right. So they do get out of the inning here. Notre Dame does with the lead.
Tough break for the Noles. The Irish, the throw here by Eckert. And kind of the miscue, but the recovery by Ava Zachary. Great tag at the plate by Eckert. Maddie Fry, she looks okay.
ACC softball on this Saturday, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. It was a 4-0 lead for Notre Dame, has been trimmed down to 1. The Irish scoring 4 times in the second, 3 of those coming on a Tinley Sweet home run, her first career homer, but Florida State gets 3 runs in the just completed bottom of the third, one of those runs on her.
A tough break there for Notre Dame, and you look at what Michaela Castor has been able to do so far. Really good outing. It was really just the walk and then the error.
Picked up, throw, still in time. Just your routine 1-5-3 putout of Houlihan to start the fourth.
Florida State defense does a good job here. The little ricochet off of Francic, and then Jason Beecham gonna come up, fire across the diamond. Gonna get the out call. So the 1-5-3 play, it will be challenged. So we'll see what the umpires are gonna be taking a look at.
That's why I score in pencil, by the way.
I like that. I'm just waiting. I normally carry whiteout with me. I don't have it in my bag today, just in case. Take one more look. Little hit right back up the middle, the ricochet. You see, too, good communication there between Beecham and Francic. Francic kind of gets her head up, sees Beecham coming real close, and backs off. Good job, quick release here as well. Bang, bang play, just trying to keep it interesting.
You're hearing the crowd react. They're showing it on the scoreboard, and they really slowed it down, as you kind of just saw there as well, but from a different angle than what the crowd just saw. And the crowd seems convinced that the out call is going to stand.
How about that? Just putting the pressure on the umpires. You've got the video board here and the crowd taking a look, having them cheer, and bang, bang play at first for sure. Good hustle down the line by Houlihan, but not much you can do there. I think this call will stand. It's got to be conclusive enough to overturn it. And the umpires are back.
Indeed, the call on the field does stand. So that 1-5-3 you can put in.
Done deal. As I get older, I learned that patience is key. I can't be too presumptive and move too quick. I got to just let things play out a little bit.
Don't ever lose that eagerness that the youth lifestyle brings, though.
Noted.
Rebecca Eckert opened up the scoring with an RBI double to left field in the second. Fifth two-base hit of the year. Now she sends one to right center, but Kennedy Harp has that measured. Two quick outs. Jazzy Francic. Here's Tinley Sweet, who has the big blast in this game and the only one that's actually gone out of the ballpark. Sweet having a good weekend, 2 for 4 in the series. Had a double in game 2 yesterday. Francic paints another on the inside corner.
I like her work in that side of the plate. It's tough as a left-handed hitter trying to get your hands extended on something that has that much movement. A good break in.
Let's take you back. A couple runners on for Sweet in the second.
Right now, this one's a difference maker. The 3-run shot for Tinley Sweet. Just got a hold of that one. That was a great job, too, in the 9-hole. I love the bottom of the order production there. A couple of big ribbies. The junior comes through. Talk about just being patient, waiting for your time, and then when you get the opportunities, trying to capitalize and just be in the moment. The gratitude that comes with having faced adversity early in her career. Big appreciation out there on the field.
Paint on the inside corner. Jazzy, her second strikeout. When we come back, we'll visit with the Hall of Fame head coach, Lonnie Alameda. for the second. Florida State came back with 3 in the third. And Coach has jumped on. We got you, Lonnie.
Hi, how are you?
Hey there. Hey there, Coach. Hey, let me just start. What's your impression, what's your takeaway from the outing from Bella Dimitrievich today?
Good stuff. Freshman, we're talking through things. We're learning and growing. That's how you get better in the game, so good stuff.
Coach, you guys average about 8 runs a game with your offense. Just talk about the belief in your hitters.
Sorry, I missed that. Hi, AP.
Hi, Coach. You guys average several runs a game, about 8 or so. Just talk about the belief that you guys have in the hitters and the offense.
Yeah, pass the bat mentality for sure. I think that it's pretty awesome, the energy, the base running side of it with the swings, So she's mixing speeds pretty good, getting some spots. So we've got to make sure that we sell out for one or the other and keep putting the pressure on.
Girio was batting when the inning ended last frame, so she leads off here. Hey, this is probably an oversimplification. I mean, the last time you guys lost was when Alabama was here for the dugout. What has clicked? What has changed since then? Or is it just a season taking its normal course for you?
I think season normal course, especially when you have, 9 new faces, and we're trying to figure out, that's half the team trying to figure out how we live on and off the field. And Alabama came in here and got after it, and they're a really good team. So it was kind of like looking over like, all right, like that's where we want to be. That's what we want to get after in a lot of facets. And I think it made us better. So by playing those teams, it's pretty awesome for us, to make sure that we can kind of see where we're at, the measuring stick on that side.
Coach, one of the things that is your strength, I think, is the evolution and the growth of players throughout your program. Just talk a little bit about your decision to leave Dimitrievich in the game, and then not only that, but develop your other freshmen in big moments.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think at this point, it's conversations through, like, where do you help Team 43 right now? I mean, Sturgis is going to grow over time, Griggs is going to grow over time, but, like, as we're going into it right now, where do you help us? And, I mean, like, Griggs right now, awesome. Like, she's played short when Issa was down. She's been at first. She's been in the outfield. She's taken that bats and swinging it. Yeah, it's been awesome to see her grow, but she's going to continue to grow over the 4 years, too. So I think it's just locking in where you can help us right now and win pitches, just win pitches.
Hey, Coach, let me ask you one more question. You mentioned Issa. I asked Chris Gannett before today's game, I said, when's the last time you've seen a hitter that you played against or knew that locked in? She mentioned Stevie Nuberman, so she went back quite a while. What do you think, what locked in Issa? Have you seen somebody lock in like that in your 1,000 career wins? You've been around a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you're pretty lucky when you can get after athletes that get after, like, I mean, facing Megan Grant this year, like, and Woolery, like a 1-2 punch, like, you could just see pitch by pitch, a good deep breath, and they're executing plan, an 0-1, a 1-0, a 2-1, and they're just getting after swings, and they know how important the swing is for the team, and so, those are a little bit veteran players, and she's a junior, but you just can't take pitches off, and that's a really hard thing to do as a freshman, but as you get older, you realize, like, how important every piece, is to your process.
Well, we set that up perfectly as Issa comes to the plate. We'll let you go and let America enjoy it. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you. Yep. Bye, AP.
Bye, Coach.
Hall of Fame head coach Lonnie Alameda. Yeah, but Stevie Nuberman was the name that Coach Gannett gave me. And I'm like, wow.
Legendary, though.
What's that?
Legendary.
Oh, no question. One of the all-time greats, for sure. Issa today was walked last inning, grounded out her first time. But as I mentioned in chatting with Coach Gannett before the game today, Coach Gannett said, yeah, we can't leave anything hittable for Issa. It's almost a plan of, let's see if she will do one of the rare things and kind of get herself out, and she doesn't do that. She'll take the walk a lot of times. And then we're seeing another example of that right here, it looks like.
Well, you look at that in a couple of ways. One, if you're being compared to Stacey Nuberman, you know that you're in some of the best company. And then two, talk about when she played. I don't know what the years were offhand, but it's been a while. And to think that it hasn't been done in maybe that long, like that's saying something as well.
And she just took 4 pitches out of the zone. The fact that this is now a 1-run game instead of a 4-run game, you certainly understand where Coach Gannett is right there and calling the pitches.
Now batting number 42.
And they walk Torres for a second time. By the way, speaking of calling pitches, Budi Oliveira, who's the primary pitch caller and assistant for Notre Dame, is not with the team. Unfortunate news to report, her dad, Mike Gillette, passed away a few days ago, so she is not with the team on this trip. Who would call pitches along with Jamie Spitali? Jamie is here, obviously, so Jamie's calling pitches, and Coach Gannett is kind of helping out with the calling the pitches in Boo's absence.
You definitely just need a village to rally around you. So thoughts and prayers
Yes.
with the family. Nobody wants to ever experience a tragic loss, but you've got a village around you, and you are the strength of your people, I often think.
So Boo, thinking about you and the family, and again, prayers and condolences to the entire family. The Gillette family. Throw down to second base. Pretty good throw. As Houlihan was a little bit tardy getting to the bag, but good throw by Eckert, and a steal for Torres is her 9th of the year.
Good speed for Isa Torres. But I also appreciate the umpire just taking a split second to kind of register and process what it was that happened in front of him with a safe call. I feel like a little bit more mindfulness going into it.
Beecham punches it to right, hit well, long run, diving attempt. Peck can't come up with it. She flips it to Winchell. Jasony to third, in with a slide, and it's tied at 4. First triple of the season for Jasony Beecham, and her team-leading 46th RBI, and now 27-game on-base streak to boot.
One of the things that Jasony Beecham does so well is hit it hard, hit it far with people on base. Just kind of leans into that one. Doesn't even have to hit it as hard as she can, but gets just enough barrel, drives it deep to the right field. Isa Torres easily coming in to score. Travis Wilson giving her the go-ahead. Makes no doubt about it there that one was big.
So now the go-ahead run 60 feet away with 2 outs.
How about that? Triples are hard. Ooh. I don't know if you've ever run a triple, but on a softball field, even more so too, with the space of the fence.
That's just the 2nd career triple for Beecham, by the way. First this year. In many ways, and a lot of people will say this, not just me, a triple can be the most exciting play to watch in the sport.
I like it. It's hard to do. That's probably a big reason why.
Yes.
I mean, I know from experience, Travis Wilson always used to give me a hard time. Like, AP, just stay at second. But, you know, hey, Florida State can motor now. Maybe I was a lot slower back in my day.
Heller behind in the count, 0-2. Towards third. Throw goes across the diamond, and it's in time to retire the side. Got a 2-out rally. They walk Torres. She gets a steal, scores on the Beecham triple to make it a 4-4 game.
Jasony Beecham, the big swing here. Isa Torres on base with the walk. Jasony Beecham gets it done, hitting her in. Power to the opposite field. The junior, so clutch. Love to see it. Florida State ties it.
Game goes to the top of the 5th from Joanne Grant Field in Tallahassee. Reminder that when we are finished here, coming up next here on ACC Network, women's lacrosse. Number 18, Duke Blue Devils hosted number 3, Syracuse. Should be another great one in women's lacrosse. And oh yeah, like everything else, it is available as well on the ESPN app. Notre Dame got out to a 4-0 lead, scoring 4 in the second. First pitch swinging, it's right back to Francic. One pitch, she throws out Winchell. Six in a row set down by Jazzy. He came into the game in relief with 1 out in the third. And the starter, Bella Dimitrievich. Caitlin Early. Couple fly balls today for Caitlin. One to center, one to left. Sophomore from Southern California in Santa Barbara. Puts this one up the middle, and no play for Torres. Only has a base hit, her second of the series. A 1-out, 5th inning single. Notre Dame trying to salvage this 3rd and final game of the series. Florida State not only trying to sweep the series, but trying to extend their 23-game winning streak, which is the longest active streak right now in Division I. It's been a while since Notre Dame has had a win over a top 10 team.
I was going to say, playing with a few things in mind there, trying to get a top-ranked win, and then, of course, trying to be the one to end the hot streak of victories. Sometimes you just play for a lot of those reasons because you want to be the team that gets the job done.
It surprises me it's been that long since they've had a top 10 win. I mean, this is a school that went to 24 consecutive NCAA tournaments. That run ended a couple of years ago.
I think a big part of that, too, is when the transfer portal really picked up the talent across the sport at so many schools across the country. It wasn't, I mean, yes, you still had your powerhouses, don't get me wrong, but I also think those teams that had snuck in some big wins, had made the tournament so consistently, kind of maybe fell off for a little bit of time there with some of those mid-major programs finding their way and all kinds of things. The portal was chaos for a while.
I don't know that it stopped being chaotic in many ways.
Touche. Maybe a little more chaotic now with the NIL and everything else.
It is a different landscape. But as we mentioned earlier, I mean, these are two schools here, and you can throw Stanford in the mix here as well, that still kind of live by that old mantra. I mean, there was a time, though, when, I mean, Stanford didn't have any transfers ever.
Well, yeah. Can you talk about getting into a school like that?
You know,
I don't know about you, but whew, I was okay smart, but that's different.
Okay, smart doesn't usually get you into Stanford or Notre Dame,
Touche,
quite frankly.
Yeah. Got me there. I went to Florida State. Come on.
I don't have a response to that.
Good
Here's
education.
Yeah,
Here's
yeah,
good
no,
education.
undoubtedly. Midji, you know, I actually got her to pronunciate. It's Greek. Midji Yayaka. It's Players Weekend. That's what's on the back of the jersey for Jazzy, which honors her grandmother, who lives in Greece and is, I think she said 90 years old.
Wow. It's incredible. Love the tributes that a lot of these players get to make throughout Players Weekend and who they represent, who they play for. You see the names on the back of the jerseys. A big part of that, too, was started through kind of the COVID year and just the chaos that transpired then, the unknown. And, you know, at a time, I like where it's positioned in the season as well, because it's a time where RPI, the rest of the season, can feel really heavy. And Lonnie and staff just tries to keep it light, make it about the people that got you here and able to play on the stage.
We hope Midji Yayaka is watching in Greece on this Saturday. Pickoff attempt at second, and Heller had to climb the ladder to keep that throw from going into center. After a quick out to begin the inning, the next two have reached. Early a base hit, Zachary walked. Now Hayden Kine is singled and reached on an air. He gets jammed, slow roller to Torres, to second, out to first, double play. And just like that, the twin killing ends the inning. Florida State turns their 21st double play of the season.
Couple of runners on. Jazzy Francic responds well. A nice little ground ball, 6-4-3 action. Nobody better. East to Torres, right up the middle to Heller, to Griggs. Florida State on it.
ACC Network Softball presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Game tied up at 4 going to the last of the 5th. I love it when they play the theme to Smokey from the Bandit here. And the crowd gets into it. They put the words up on the scoreboard. Jerry Reed would be proud of that, and the defense of Florida State.
The Florida State defense has been elite. You look right there at 986 fielding percentage. Leads the ACC. It's 3rd in Division I softball. Florida State is able to just get the job done with the robbed home runs, the double plays. Have done a good job keeping themselves in some big ball games with the defense.
You know, I mentioned Jerry Reed, but I should have mentioned, and I'll say it now, Burt Reynolds, because Burt Reynolds played football here at Florida State.
Oh, okay. I like it. That's good.
Yeah. He was the Bandit. It's Smokey and the Bandit. If you've seen Three's Company, you've probably seen Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, but it was a long time ago. I probably need to freshen up the memory.
Going back a ways. 1-0 pitch upstairs. Castor has pitched well here for Notre Dame.
She's been looking really good in the circle, and a couple of unfortunate plays that really didn't go her way. Had good production with some ground ball opportunities, but the defense kind of going to their feet, doing some crazy dances out there. A couple of runs came in on those missed opportunities. An error doesn't help, of course, but nonetheless has responded well. I like to see how excited she gets into the moment, into the pitches, trying to expand the zone. Getting some called strikes off the plate.
Shot fair. Down the line and into foul ground and left. Danley motoring for second. She'll stop there standing up. 11 two-base hit for the two-way player, Ashton Danley, to lead off the 5th for FSU.
Ashton Danley does a good job going the other way here. Keeps her hands inside it so nicely. That one just laced down the left field line. Good piece of hitting. Second hit of the game, too, for the junior. Danley has really stepped up her offensive game this season. Was always good, but is really paving the way to have a great junior season.
Where she put that line drive was out of reach of the third baseman, Caroline O'Brien. The umpire, Russell McLaughlin, barely got out of the way of it, and it landed about 4 inches fair inside the left field foul line.
They call it the hot corner for a reason. Even if you're the umpire, you got to keep your head on a swivel.
Hannah Hyde has a hit today. That was a 2-run single her last time up in the 3rd. Tying, I should say, the go-ahead run in scoring position.
How about that, too? 3 of the 4 runs for Florida State have come on the infield singles. Just a tough break when that's kind of the result.
And you mentioned the error for Notre Dame. One of those runs is unearned, and it's the difference in the game right now, since it is tied up. Off-speed pitch blocked. Eckert kept it close, and Danley gave it a serious hard look towards third base. Probably a good decision with nobody out. Not trying to take that extra 60 feet to third.
This is an aggressive Florida State team on the bases, but yeah, you don't want to be silly out there and run yourself out of situations. I think a little bit of frustration as well from Castor, not necessarily getting the calls. Catcher Eckert trying to ask a couple questions, maybe where the pitches are missing.
Right side, diving stop, up and out at first. Good play at second base. Ava Zachary. It is a productive out for Florida State as it advances Danley over to third, but it took a really good play by Zachary just to get it out for Notre Dame.
Hitting the ball the other way and having a good situational at bat, good heads-up base running for Ashton Danley, now just 60 feet away from being the go-ahead run here for the Noles. Yeah, it definitely goes down as a quality plate appearance.
Infield creeps in. Ball one outside to McKenzie's. Look at the infield defense for the Irish.
And you see everybody's playing in the baseline or a little above it, trying to sell out for a ground ball play at the plate here. And Castor's done a good job getting a lot of ground ball production. Infield getting a ton of action today. One of the things, too, that Coach Ganiff talked about in the earlier games in this series was kind of the smaller strike zone. Doesn't feel like the pitchers are getting calls off the plate as much as maybe they typically do, so the zone a little more favoring the hitters.
Chase the changeup. I think that's pretty true across the board around college softball. If you ask me, I think the zone around the nation for the most part is a little too tight, especially at the high part of the zone. I think those pitches don't get called a lot.
I don't disagree. You got to remember, I'm a hitter at heart, so I tend to favor the hitters, but it is true. And I'm just kind of like game planning coming into the game, thinking, you know, what does it look like to be a pitcher in today's day and age? I can tell you if I was a kid, I don't know that I would want to ever be a pitcher, seeing offensively what you see on TV nowadays.
Big rip and a miss. Castro able to come back. Give it to a 2-ball, 2-strike count, 2-2 count. Castro not too far away from 100 pitches. She threw 89 pitches here in game 1 on Thursday. This is a 2-2 pitch. Work her out. Got her to chase away. And they get McKenzie for the first time today.
Michaela Castor, the big 3-2 pitch there. Good lateral movement, tight spin. That's a tough location, moving away from a left-handed hitter. Big swing from McKenzie. Good stuff from Castor.
So 2 down for Kennedy Harp. Danley, the potential go-ahead run at third. 4-4 score, last to the 5th. Danley doubled to lead off the inning. She's at third with 2 outs. That's towards right center field. Hit well, and that's going to find the top of the wall. Harp already at second. 22nd RBI for Kennedy Harp. A big 2-out hit for FSU to chase in Danley. For the first time today, the Noles have the lead.
Talk about appreciation for opportunities. Kennedy Harp got cleared a couple of weeks coming into this season and has absolutely hit the ground running. Recovered from an ACL tear last season and has wasted no time just being an immediate contributor to this Florida State offense. That's a big RBI.
Yeah, the ACL injury, it's obviously shortened her season last year.
Which, mind you, was having a huge season last
year.
Yeah,
exactly. And you can speak to this because this happened not once, but twice to you, correct?
Yeah, tough.
ACL.
Tough.
Is there some trepidation in an athlete's mind coming back from that ACL injury to kind of just, not baby it, but kind of feel like, all right, am I really okay and back to 100%?
Absolutely. I think there's a natural hesitancy and maybe lack of trust probably within ourselves, because you know that obviously the doctors have done everything they need to get you back and strong. You're training in the weight room, in the training room with the athletic trainers and the doctors, but it's tough. And the trust and belief in yourself is a lot of the times the hardest part when coming back from injury. And the other thing is you can't hesitate. You've almost got to just really work extra hard to push through those moments of nervousness, to just go all out, because a lot of the time when you are going all out, that's when you remain safe. And when we are scared, playing scared, that's when bad things happen. But Harp has done fantastic.
So was it, and I won't say easier for you, but the second time after the second ACL, were you able to get that confidence back quicker because you had already experienced that before?
Absolutely. I do think it was easier. I think my training was easier because I think I pushed myself harder, knowing what to expect. It was hard, and arguably probably the hardest thing I've done still to date, but you live and you learn, and I think the gratitude for those moments and being on the field just mean a little bit more when you go through something like that. The adversity, it just means that much more to have such a great experience and the on-field success.
And she lost her, ball 4 outside. 0 walks. Griggs coming up, but first, Chris Gannett, the Fighting Irish head coach, makes a trip to the circle. Forget, when we are finished here, we'll send you to women's lacrosse. Number 18 Duke Blue Devils are hosting number 3 Syracuse. You can also catch that on the ESPN app if you like, or right here on ACC Network coming up when we are finished in Tallahassee. Coach Gannett has had her say with Castor. A run in, a 5-4 lead now for Florida State, and 2 on, 2 outs. The 9-hole hitter, Haley Griggs. Blasted deep, but foul, well foul down the left field side.
We heard a little bit too from Lonnie in the coach's interview about having the conversations in the moment, and that's one of the things that she really tries to focus on with the players. And you look at Coach Gannett calling time in a big situation like this, you've got to appreciate the moment. You are within 1 run here trying to keep a top 10 team from putting more on the board, but what a cool opportunity for Notre Dame, who has had a little bit of a roller coaster of a season. Started slow, really picked things up with some big series wins against Stanford, a big win against Clemson, and what they were able to do. But you just got to ride the waves, appreciate the moments.
Liner to third and caught by Caroline O'Brien. To her left. That might have saved at least 1 more run, but Harp's 2-out double has given Florida State their first lead.
Kennedy Harp, the clutch swing there, that one, the go-ahead run. Of course, going to score Ashton Danley, who's had a fantastic time. Kennedy Harp, clutch.
Five-4 Florida State leading to the top of the 6th inning. A reminder that baseball next week. Going to have the big 3-game series between number 7 Florida State and number 3 Georgia Tech. Thursday and Friday night's games right here on ACC Network, with the series finale Saturday afternoon on ACC Network Extra. You can also see him on the ESPN app. Of course, Link Jarrett, former Notre Dame head baseball coach, was a shortstop at Florida State back in the early 90s. There he is while the head coach in South Bend, and now, of course, has been the head coach back at his alma mater for a few years. But don't forget James Ramsey, great player. First-round draft pick in the MLB draft by the Cardinals. Was the head coach in waiting, and now here in 2026 in his first year as the head coach at Georgia Tech. So a couple guys with ties to playing at Florida State will meet one another as head coaches with their 2 teams, and that'll be fun to watch.
I feel like there's an extra level of competitiveness when you're going up against people that have similar ties to you. I don't know, maybe that's just the inner competitor in me.
Oh, yeah. Mike Martin tree of great players and now coaches. Let's see how Notre Dame responds here. Kaylin O'Brien, nice play at third base to end that last inning. She leads off here, top of the sixth, with Notre Dame now down a run. A little low apparently from Jazzy, 2-1. Carolina is sacrificed and popped out. Notre Dame looking to get the leadoff batter on. They'll tied her up on the 3-1 pitch.
Like that spot from Frantic. She's had a lot of success in the inside corner. Able to work both sides of the plate effectively, but I like that one in and tight on the hands.
3-2 pitch from Jazzy. And she lost her, ball 4. So Notre Dame puts the leadoff batter aboard for the third time today, first time since the second inning. So there's the possible tying run. See how the Irish play it here. Sydney Peck comes up. The Irish right fielder is fly to center and struck out. And she does shorten up. Hines going to go out to the circle to talk with Francis. Rest of the infielders join in.
Trying to make sure everybody's on the same page is a big piece of it. The pre-pitch communication. A lot of people can be reactive, but trying to get ahead of situations, make sure we all know where we're going if a ball is put in play. Just another one of those things that sets a good team apart from the great ones. Thinking proactively instead of reactively.
Ready to go again with the 1-0 pitch. Again, shortens up, but ball 2 is high.
Putting the leadoff batter on base with a walk is definitely a tough spot to be in. Defense going to step up, try to turn a double play here.
Now 3-0. So if you're Peck, you're probably taking at least one pitch here, are you not?
I would think so. I think very few people, maybe outside of Bisa Torres, are getting a green light in a situation like this.
Was taking, and it is a strike. And it is back-to-back walks from Jazzy Frantic. And the Irish has something going here in the top of the 6th inning.
Turn of events, you talk about the momentum having been the way of Florida State in the offense, the way they were attacking the pressure on Notre Dame, but right now, turning the page. Fighting Irish stepping up, having some good at-bats, discipline in the box.
Frantic will come out as Lonnie Alameda has come out. And that's going to bring in Danley. Tell you more about her when we come back.
Stepping into the circle, number 11, Ashton Danley.
3 in a row. Fell behind 4-0, lead by a run, but the tying and go-ahead runs on base with nobody out for Notre Dame here at the top of the 6th. Ashton Danley, who's been playing left field today, came out last half inning. Sturgis went into left. That allowed Ashton to get loose, and now she's in the game in the circle.
And what a turn of events here for Florida State. Now Danley coming in a big moment, but somebody that is so used to the pressure coming in high leverage situations, trying to roll some ground balls. Trusting the defense. You look at the scouting report here for Ashton Danley. First of all, very athletic, yes she is. She does hammer low in the zone, and that's a lot of the ground ball production that you're going to expect. She's got a good drop ball, change up combo. Looking to mix speeds well.
Pinch hitter for Notre Dame is Lily Hagan, a freshman out of New Jersey. Bats here for Houlihan.
Lily Hagan is the hitter in game 1 that had a couple of home runs, the big swings for the Irish. Talk about the power game, it's nothing new to Hagan.
Home run in game 1. Chop to Torres, to second, out to first. Their second double play turned today. Bryant to third.
And there's a reason the Florida State defense is top 3 in the country. Things like this, a little 6-4-3 action, but not only that, the situation that the double play was turned, getting the Knoll defense out of a potential big situation, but right now Notre Dame still threatens. Runner on third, but 2 outs.
Becca Eckert, the catcher for the Fighting Irish, takes a strike.
How about that? You know that you're bringing Danley in. She gets a lot of ground ball outs, and you're selling out for it as the defense. Everybody was in a good position there, and of course you get the outcome that you're working towards.
It falls behind 0-2. She did knock in the first run of the game. On the top of the second with an RBI double to left. Hard hit, gathered by Heller, and the freshman makes the play to end the threat. Notre Dame had 2 on, nobody out. Florida State keeps them off the board. Tallahassee, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Another great crowd here at Joanne Graff Field. 5-4 game, Florida State leading. Bottom of the 6th, and a A couple of twin killings for Florida State today have been big defensive plays in this game.
Well, some of the best here at Florida State. A couple of double plays getting the defense out of some potential big moments for the offense of the Fighting Irish. The 6-4-3, the 2 outs, and 1 ground ball definitely help. But the Florida State pitcher is still figuring it out, but defense has their backs. That's a sign of a good team. One of the best, especially on defense.
Now batting number
The top of the order is up. Good look at the defense and the improvement from last year to this. 131st.
Pretty big turn of events.
Yeah, that is. You get a top 5 and out 3. And slow roller hit by Torres. Almost beat it out, but it's thrown out by a step, so they get a big out there, getting Torres. Who for her has had a quiet day. She has a 500 on base percentage with a couple of walks, but was 0 for 2 officially.
I think the good news is, too, it doesn't always have to be Torres. You got to line up with good depth throughout, 1 through 9, a couple of hitters off the bench, too, that can cause some damage. And that's got to be a sigh of relief. If you're Issa Torres, if you're Florida State, it doesn't always have to be you. She's excelled exceptionally well this year. What she's doing is absolutely insane, but there's a lot of good talent.
Beecham with her first triple of the year in her last at bat, just her second career triple now in her junior year. Two balls and a strike. Kaylee Castor, the starting pitcher for Notre Dame, 110 pitches. Off the end of the bat, and it's fading in right center. Diving attempt by Winchell came up a little bit short. Beecham has her second hit of the game.
Jason Beecham hits this one right off the end of the bat, but trying to respect the power. You've got your outfield playing almost on the warning track. Mickey Winchell breaks in aggressively, just can't come up with a diving play. Would have been a great one. But Jason Beecham finds herself on first, and right now Florida State needs base runners, so they'll take it.
Heller towards the hole, and a diving stop there by Houlihan, but she has no play anywhere. It turns into an infield hit for Heller, her second hit today.
Number 11, Ashton Danley.
So brings up Danley, who is the starting left fielder. He's 1 for 3 while hitting as a left fielder with a double in her last at bat and a run scored. Now as the pitcher shoots one foul right over by the Irish dugout. Well protected behind the screen.
Thankfully, because those balls come at you fast. Danley's been seeing the ball well. Sees it deep in the zone, too, and you can just tell, you look at her lower half and the takes that she has, and everything's just super quiet. Yesterday was 3 for 3 offensively. Today, a couple more hits.
Down the line, foul. Yeah, 3-run home run for her yesterday. Or 3 hits, I should say, in a double. Had a 3-run home run against Cal and a grand slam against Syracuse, which were back-to-back games for her. But she's always been a two-way player, but now that she's doing it kind of full-time, so to speak, she's doing both sides well.
And not only that, I think there's a different level of discipline when you say, hey, it's not even that I just want to be a two-way player. I want to be a great two-way player. I want to make an impact. I want to be in the heart of the lineup. I want to make a contribution, whether it's in the circle, in the outfield, whatever it is the team needs. But you have to elevate your training, your preparation to a whole different level.
Off the end of the bat to second. Play is at first base. I thought for a moment with Zachary coming in that she might meet Heller right about the time she fielded that ball to try to tag her, but took the out at first. The other runners advance. We have Beecham at third and Heller at second now with 2 outs. And the bat in the hands of freshman catcher Anna Hine. Anna knocked in a run in the third. They're doing a nice job to keep that at the plate. Delivery. Now the right field side into foul territory. Almost grabbed by Peck. Had a glove on it.
Great effort there by Sydney Peck in right field. Covers good ground. Playing kind of in the mid-range there on depth, but breaks well. So close. Good effort.
By the way, we just hit the top of the hour. If you're looking for Syracuse Duke women's lacrosse, that's starting on ACC Network Extra. And we will go there as soon as we are finished here in Tallahassee as well. 3 balls and a strike to Hine. Change up strike, full count.
Great pitch from Castor too, just trying to throw that at any count, keep the hitters guessing when it's going to come.
Protecting there. We'll see another pitch.
Been some good swings from Florida State, some extra base hits, the triple, a couple of doubles, but overall, Michaela Castor has been fantastic at mixing speeds. It's been the timeliness of the Florida State hits, a couple of infield singles as well, the difference maker. Overall, good outing for the senior.
Waited on the change, drops it into right, and that's going to drive in 2. Anna Hine has driven in 4 today, 4 of the 6, and it's 4 of the 7, and a 3-run lead now for FSU.
Anna Hine keeps her hands inside this ball so well. The changeup lets it get deep in the zone, hits it the other way. Talk about maturity in the box. That right there is a seasoned hitter, only a freshman. Anna Hine, a couple of more RBIs, attacking her totals. Excited, I like it.
Poor Ribby Day, up to 29 on the season.
Now batting number 6, McKenna Sturgis.
Florida State knew they were going to take at least a 1-run lead to the 7. Now they know it's going to be at least 3. 2 outs to McKenna Sturgis, who took over in left field when Danley went to warm up, and now in the circle. First at bat for McKenna today. Sturgis 1 for 5 in the series. Now make it 2 for 6. All the way into the corner. Hine to third. Double for Sturgis, who welcomes herself to the game with an extra base hit.
Just got done talking about it too, the depth of this team off the bench. McKenna Sturgis comes in, big situation there. Finds good success, extra bases. Gotta love the power off the bench. You don't gotta get ready if you stay ready, Mark.
takes advantage there. Now, still 2 outs in the inning. The 7th batter to come up in the frame is Kennedy Harp. Couple of hits for Kennedy, a single, double, an RBI. And a little flare, gonna bring in one more. Sweet up with it quickly, it does drive in Hine. Burgess to third. Now it's 8-4, so 8 unanswered runs now from Florida State after they fell down 4-0.
Pass in the back, keeping it simple, takes the off speed on the outside corner, off the plate a little bit too, but a lot of strength in the bat of Kennedy Harp, gets her hands around it, drives it shallow enough. Right there for a little hit RBI.
Well, the Irish were trying to get Kayla Castor through this 6th inning, but Cami Kamzik is going to come in and take over in the circle for Notre Dame. So with the Notre Dame pitching change, we'll step aside for this quick timeout. Well, we are now into April. April leads to May, and that leads 8 teams eventually to the Women's College World Series. Be here before you know it, the home of the Women's College World Series. Now an 8-4 game in favor of Florida State.
Number 44, Bella Ruggiero.
Bella Ruggiero comes up, facing Cami Kamzik, who's now pitched in relief in all 3 games of this series for Notre Dame.
Just needs one more out.
Yeah, it's been a tough out to get for Notre Dame. 3 consecutive 2-out hits. The last one by Hart, by the way, her 5th hit of the series. He's 5 for 10 in the 3 games. Burgess with a double. It's 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. Kamzik ahead 0-2 on Ruggiero. A 2-out damage today for Florida State. 5 of their 8, all with 2 outs.
You know what they say, good things happen with 2 outs, and that's why from an offensive standpoint, you can't ever feel like you're out of a situation.
Trailing runner goes, throw goes to second base. They did get a bit of a bite there. Sturgis back safely, and it's a steal for Harp. Her 2nd of the season. All 4 Notre Dame runs also happen to come with 2 outs in the 2nd inning. And they had an early 4-0 lead. Kamzik went 2 innings here on Thursday, an inning and a 3rd last night. Full count on Bell over 0. First base, right on the bag, fumbled it, and now the out's recorded. So 3 unassisted in the end of the inning, but Florida State tacks on 3 more. Last chance for the Irish when we come back. Now down 4.
ACC Softball is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, it's now become an annual event for Players Weekend here at Florida State, where the players can put whatever they want on the back of their jersey within reason. Usually it's honoring friends, family members, important people in their athletic careers. Got to wear those on Thursday and again here today on Saturday. So 2 out of the 3 games for this Players Weekend. Obviously it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday games with the Easter weekend this week. Last chance for the Irish.
You got big plans for the holiday?
Getting home.
That's a good plan.
Spending time with the family.
I'm sure they'll appreciate
Usually
that.
what Easter weekend should be all about.
Absolutely.
I assume you have similar plans.
I do. Family time is the best time.
I hope everybody out there has a chance to spend time with friends and family this weekend. Spend some time watching some softball. Notre Dame had a 4-0 lead. Florida State just kind of methodically came back. 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. All but a couple of those runs coming with 2 outs for Lonnie's team. Notre Dame trying to say we're not done yet. 3 balls, no strike count. Finley Sweet leading off takes a strike. 9-1-2 here for the Irish. Janif's team came in playing good softball. It really kind of stabilized things in conference play. 3-0 to 3-2.
Big part of that is the youth and the newness of this squad and just trying to figure it out. It's a long season. You got to learn how to ride the highs, ride the lows, stay as consistent as possible.
Ball 4 is high. So Griggs is on base. And that's a start for the Irish. Again, women's lacrosse, Syracuse Duke. You can see that right now on ACC Network Extra. And we will head straight there when we are finished here. But if you need more ACC softball after women's lacrosse, stick around on ACC Network. 6 Eastern tonight, you got Clemson, Virginia Tech. Chuck Kemp and Jenny Dalton-Hill standing by to call that one in Blacksburg.
Good rubber match for that series as well. That'll be a fun one.
Trying to get a handle on who each of those teams are.
That's a great assessment there. Clemson, I'm definitely still trying to figure them out. They've got all the potential, just trying to execute. They've had some great wins and some bad losses.
No swing. Down to first base umpire, because this time the third base umpire is pulled behind second, and don't get Alex started on that again.
I'll just keep it quiet over here. What do they teach you in like kindergarten? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Good motto. Strike 3, borderline on the outside edge. Goes Danley way. For the first out. Left on left matchup that previous pitch.
Ashton Danley has been fantastic since coming in. That's a big strikeout there, just on the outside corner, off the plate a little bit too, but just gonna freeze Winchell. That's a tough look. Again, gonna be breaking away from a left-handed hitter. Not very often that you get that look. With some legit movement too.
Yeah, and just my opinion, and Jacob St. John did a really nice job behind the plate. That pitch probably has not been a strike most of the day.
I do agree. It has been a pretty tight zone.
Yeah.
That one, probably a ball off.
Foul tip.
I think a big part of it too is because of the direction that it's breaking. You've got Danley coming from the left side, kind of breaking across the plate a little bit. And I'm not saying she should or shouldn't get that call. And you look at what Castor was doing, she was kind of staying arm side. So the run wasn't necessarily ever breaking maybe the plane of the plate.
Bouncing ball, Torres second to first. Third double play of the game ends the game, this time for Florida State. And they win it 8-4. They sweep the series with Notre Dame and win their 24th consecutive game and extend the nation's longest active streak. Well, the nation's hottest team dug out of an early 4-0 hole, Alex.
Florida State looks good. They've been swinging it well, playing great defense. A couple of double plays making the difference here today. Overall, good fight. Way to come back and win.
So Florida State wins it by a final of 8-4. For Alex Powers, our great crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one with us. Let's get it to women's lacrosse. It's Jay Alter.